All right, here's the current setup in the office. Those ARs are just sitting there right now. I don't have them connected. Pioneer SX939, got my reel-to-reel. The reason I'm shooting the video is if you look at the turntables, which only one is connected. I've got a PL41, Pioneer PL41, a Pioneer PL50, and a Pioneer PL50A. And what I wanted to do was contrast and compare. Well, I set out to do the 41 versus the 50. I thought I had two 50s, but I have a 50 and a 50A. So to make a long story short, I got bored one night after a few cocktails. I bid on two Pioneer PL50s. They closed out within a few hours of each other, and I couldn't cancel the second bid after I bid on the first one. Now, I could have just canceled them both and watched them, but they closed out like in the middle of the night, so I just let them both ride. I honestly thought I would only win one, and I ended up winning two. So I'm trying to decide which one I want to keep between the 50 and the 50A. I have not worked on the 50A, but that's the one I'm going to use as the primary comparison between the 41 and the 50. So a couple of differences right off the bat. PL41, and I don't know what, I don't know if this is a 41A, 41D, 41C. I think they have different model number designations. PL41, it's all manual, right? 3345 selector switch, off, on, down. You see it has a straight tone arm that's curved at the end. It has a height adjustment for the tone arm. This SF button is for basically the tone arm damping. It'll adjust the speed that it falls. Now, I want to show you this. I'm actually running this on a cork mat that I just kind of cut out the cork. This is the original mat, so it looks like the one that comes on the 50 and the 50A, but it's not the same type of mat. This has built-in RCA cables. There's no spring. It just has hard rubber feet on the bottom. Right, so pretty basic turntable. Now going over to the PL50, right, the tone arm is similar but not the same. So straight tone arm. Now this has a different Pioneer head shell, and I explained it in the video that I shot for the PL50. So it has a different Pioneer head shell. It actually comes with the same head shell that the 50A comes with, and I'll show you that in a minute. But straight tone arm, this has anti-skate. The Pioneer PL41 does not. I'm not sure what you call this. It's part of the tone arm elevator. This is hard plastic. On the PL41, it's rubber. This is semi-automatic, so you have to put the tone arm in position. It plays through the end of the record, then it lifts off and returns on its own. The dust cover stays up by itself, but it's not spring or anything. Well, I guess it is spring. It stays up by itself. It does not require the use of a prop rod, if I can speak this morning. It's smoky. It's not clear, right? It does have vertical, or it has a height adjustment for the tone arm. And this is on springs. So on the bottom cover, there are feet attached to the bottom cover, and that bottom plate that the feet are attached to some springs. This one, the feet attach to the base or the plinth, right? And again, there's no spring attached at all. So this is the PL50. And here is, and I have not done anything to this, this is the PL50A. Now this shares the same slip mat. Hopefully I didn't call this a dust cover. But the slip mat is all one piece. This is the same as it is on the PL50, right? Same speed selector buttons, same functions here, cut off, up, on, down, and play. But look at the tone arm. This has an S-shaped tone arm. It has a different tone arm elevator guide. I'll call that a guide. I'm not sure what it is. This one, I cannot tell. Sorry, I don't want to make anybody sick with this. Again, I haven't looked at this. I would assume this also has tone arm height adjustment. It looks like it does, but I can't verify that right now. It offers anti-skating on the PL50. It's called bias, but it's basically anti-skating, at least as far as I can tell. Dust cover is similar. Doesn't sit up quite as high as that one does. It's sitting on springs as well. You can see the springiness. This is what the head shell should look like on the PL50. I ordered a PL41 head shell for it, but had a lot of distorted sound, so I'm working that out right now. So yeah, so this is the PL50A. Again, S-shaped tone arm on this, straight on the 50 and straight on the 41. Now what I'm going to do, I was just in the 50, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move these and flip them over, and we're going to look at the differences on the underside of these and see what the differences are in the motor and the mechanism. And well, naturally this has an auto return mechanism, but kind of take a look at what's going on with both of these underneath. All right, so, and if I haven't pointed it out already, on the PL50A, you have your own RCA connects, so you can use any cable you want. So there's no RCA cables coming out of the PL50A. Let me see if I can get the camera over there to show you. So there you can see the RCA connects on the back of the PL50A. And then, because I haven't gone through this, this is part of the motor mount. Spring has been compressed and the clip has been bent. This thing's probably been dropped or something, so, you know, go figure. So PL50A on the right, PL41, or PL50A on the left, PL41 on the right. First significant difference. Now, this PL41 doesn't even have a date code on it, so I'm guessing late 60s, around 1970. The PL50A has a T stamp, so that would put it 1973, I think, if I'm remembering that correctly. Right, so we are talking about one unit that's a few years older than the other. The motor on the PL41, that's a honkin' motor, gigantic motor. The spindle housing, the platter spindle housing, much larger. Motor on the PL50A is identical to the one that I just serviced on the PL50. The platter spindle housing is identical as well. I didn't have to get into the auto return function, so I don't know if that's the same as it is on the PL50. But again, the focus of this video was the PL50 and the PL41. Because when I was shopping between the two of these, I'm like, okay, do I want to get a PL41 or a PL50? Well, a lot of people said the PL50 is just a PL41 with auto return, and there are some differences. Now, there are probably later model PL41s that have been, you know, upgraded. Maybe they do share the same motor in later model 41s. I don't really know. But at least for the 250s that I have and the 41, the motor is completely different. The selector switch for voltage is different. This is a jumper. That is a switch. You know, I think they use almost the same plinth. Notice how this has, right, these little so you can put the base on it. These are recessed. This is all flat. The bottom comes off by just turning these tabs out on the 41. This one uses a DIN connector, so in theory you can pull the tone arm wires. It's like a 5-pin DIN connector. The PL50 does not have it, and naturally this PL50A does not have it because it uses RCA connects on the back. So other differences, you know, nothing jumps out at me right now mechanically or electronically on these. I mean, they are different, obviously, but I don't really know what else to point out on the 41 and the 50A. So anyway, just a short video just talking about the similarities and differences between the models. I may do the same type of video with the 50 and the 50A, although I've covered most of their similarities and differences here in the video. So yeah, so this is going to be headed to the bench next. I bet this thing was dropped or something, because that spring is compressed down, and it's not like tangled, it's like compressed down. And look at that clip. I mean, that's ridiculous. So I have to put these in a baggie and sort that out when I get ready to work on this 50A. I think I like the straight tone arm better than the S-shaped tone arm on these. It just looks better, I guess. Well, or maybe it looks more authentic, because to this point I only thought that they had straight tone arms. So anyway, enough of my rambling. If you like what you see, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.